Implementing multimodalities in a trauma-affected way may feel intimidating at first, but keeping in mind that you can still be consistent and predictable while being flexible, and that you don't have to have all the answers, and that you can still hold students accountable will help things go more smoothly. Hi, I'm Erin Silcox from TraumaInformedTeachers.com with practical tools for conscientious educators just like you. Incorporating multimodality can kind of feel like Pandora's box if you don't have the right structures in place. Keep watching to learn how to be predictable and consistent, how to invite students into the mix, and how to hold them accountable, all while being flexible. So here's the thing, flexibility is not being soft. Multimodality and being flexible in what counts is a recognition simply that print isn't the only way to communicate. You can still be predictable and consistent while being flexible in how students learn and evidence their learning. So number one, first, establish what modes you want to include as instruction, activities, and assessments. You do not have to include all 5 modes that I presented in a previous video, or any, I'm not the only one to define what the modes are. You don't have to include all the modes at once. You don't have to say you can do anything you want. That's not what we're talking about. What you want to do is get students familiar with each mode and what it is. Explicitly teach how linguistic, spatial, visual, oral, digital, and gestural modes communicate meaning. This is going to help students make the most of each mode. After that, once you've demonstrated those things, you can move into activities and assessments and decide if you want to give students options to use any mode for a given activity, or if you want to limit their options to just a few. Second, you don't have to have all the ideas right away. Feel free to embrace what students suggest. Once you decenter print and language, and once you get more comfortable with the notion that other modes of communication are not inferior, you're going to be much more comfortable allowing students to use their areas of expertise to communicate learning. Third, develop standards of quality together. This is the accountability piece. With students, analyze several examples of products in a given mode. Decide what counts as quality and translate that into expectations. By bringing students into deciding what counts as quality, especially trauma-affected students, they may be much more likely to succeed because they know what to expect. They know what's expected of them. So things to consider with this accountability piece and developing assessments together, you want to have your expectations of what a good final product will look like before students get started composing. If a student's work doesn't meet your expectations, even if you decided the expectations together, maybe they misunderstood or had a different idea of what you and they had agreed upon. Be very clear about what's missing. Give specific feedback in a very timely manner and always allow for redos. Decide together with students when they need to have things finished, and check in with them periodically to make sure that they're on track. Get your feedback to them before time runs out. Predictability and flexibility, while they may feel disparate, and they may even feel contradictory, can be implemented together to support the success of trauma-affected youth. Be clear about what each mode is, what counts as quality, and give consistent feedback to students to ensure you both get the most out of each mode. Like what you saw here, click on the next video and make sure you subscribe so you get alerts.